Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the most interactive wrestling stream on the interweb. Welcome back to Wrestling with Omer, is what the show used to be called. It's called Big Om Live now. What's up, everyone? We got a lot to get into. Saw Omer going into the red light district in Amsterdam. Can confirm I did not do that. But I was indeed in Amsterdam, and it was a blast. As you can imagine, I know that we have some people from Amsterdam in Amsterdam, so hello to all of you. Your country was beautiful. Shout out to the Netherlands. Shout out to them also for electing a pretty based political party right as I arrived. It's almost like it was planned to be that way. But hello to you too, Wall Street Money. Hello, Eric. Hello, Gerard Clark. Hello, Kader. Good to see everyone in the chat. We got a lot to get into today. As we do always, professional wrestling is always chock full of, I should say, a lot of news, notes, and constant things to talk about. We got John Cena's final time. His final time. We are just a month away from John Cena's retirement. We're also, just a couple of hours away from Cena's final time ever wrestling in Boston. And a bit of a spoiler for things that are going to happen. John Cena will be wrestling. More on that in a little bit. But we have that. We obviously have the situation that has played out with Tony Khan, with the former Tegan Knox, with everything that's going on in that situation, talent walking out. Also, Chris Jericho has been back on Twitter. Chris Jericho has been back in the limelight recently, and a lot of indications of where he might be headed. So, all that and much more coming up right here in this stream. As you guys know, this is a fan interactive, fan run show. You guys make the show as we go along, and we have a lot of fun talking about stuff as we do it. So be sure to leave a thumbs up, leave a like if you please. If you want to guarantee your question or statement is read out, answered on the air, you got two ways of making that happen. You can guarantee it by either becoming a member for $5 a month, easy, ping. Gerard Clark already does it. We have others who already do it. So you can either do that or you can leave a super chat to guarantee that. Otherwise, we're trying to get to as many as we can, as I know we have a lot on our minds today. But let us talk about the GOAT first. Let us talk about John Cena. Because as blowing up my spot here, Eric is already doing, Cena versus Dom tonight, that seems to be what is happening. Tonight, it will not only be John Cena in his final time ever in Boston, Massachusetts. It will not only be him wrestling, but it will be him wrestling Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. This has been confirmed. I will pull up the source in a second. I believe I know who it is, but I don't want to falsely source somebody because, I'm not going to be that guy. But it has been confirmed by a pretty on it source that Dominic Mysterio and John Cena will be wrestling tonight. And it will be for the Intercontinental Championship. This has been something that has been speculated upon recently quite a bit about John Cena and whether or not he would be going out as a champion. And I think it's pretty clear that if Cena is facing the Intercontinental Champion tonight, then he is doing so in a way, he is doing so in a match that is going to net him the championship. And I believe it is Corey Haynes and Bodyslam.net, I believe, are the ones who broke it. Correct me if I am wrong, but Corey Haynes and Bodyslam.net broke it that John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio is happening tonight. And what a way to go out if you're John Cena in Boston. What a hell of a way to go out. John Cena is the pride of Boston, Massachusetts. When you think of the greatest icons in the history of the city of Boston, yes, you obviously think of Tom Brady. Yes, you obviously think of Larry Bird. Yes, you obviously think of Paul Pierce. You obviously think of Kevin Garnett, all of the people who have brought championships. Bill Russell, for God's sakes. You think of all of them. But in terms of professional wrestling, John Cena is that equivalent for the city of Boston. He is their son. He is the prodigy, the absolute mascot that city deserves. And tonight, I believe that if John Cena is facing Dominic Mysterio, you have to have him go over, and that is how they're going to end the night. And if that happens, then it calls into, question, well, what do you do now? Now, this tournament that they're doing for John Cena's final opponent is not only for the final opponent of John Cena, but it's also to determine potentially a new Intercontinental Champion. And I will talk about this tournament and my thoughts on it because I got a lot of thoughts. Breaking news, I think it's pretty crap. And a lot of the participants either have no direct tie to John Cena or do, but let's be honest. Shout out to Rusev. What is he doing in here? But we will talk about that and so much more. This is a biblical, almost like the prodigal son returns for the last time. It is literally that. It is literally that, for sure. Yeah, these last 2 years have been sad for wrestlers retiring. Yep. And you have Tanahashi doing the same thing in January. You will have AJ Styles next year. You had Sting last year. You have the big Jericho retirement where he's going to be like, hi, I'm retiring. The Intercontinental title is the final title that he didn't acquire throughout his career. This is also true. He will have the final Grand Slam champion he will be the final Ultimate Grand Slam champion of WWE. I like that. I mean, if you were to pick that like major Grand Slam champion, it would be John Cena. He has literally done it all. I mean, Cena and Rusev have history. Yeah, they have history, but come on, man. What are we doing here? Rusev, shout out to Rusev, but come on. I was in Hoofddorp. What the fudge is that? What is a Hoopdorf? Is that a city in the Netherlands? What the hell is even that? Shout out to Shay. What's up, Shay? Never in wrestling history have I ever heard of someone walking out because they had to do a job and they're a jobber. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get to that in a little bit. I certainly have a correction or two I am going to make, and I shall make it proudly because I don't have pride. Well, no, I have pride, but I don't have enough pride that I can't say when I'm wrong. So you don't think Sheamus wins the Grand Slam? No, I don't think Sheamus wins. Sheamus, I think, deserves to be in it, but I don't think that Sheamus is, he's not, he's the guy who I think you tell the story about throughout the tournament. You tell the story about throughout the tournament, and you, build him up to, you want that, right? I think you build him up to the point where we all want it to be Sheamus. We're all endeared to Sheamus in this way. But then you have a big bad heel be the person to eventually win the tournament. And Sheamus goes to the final of the tournament. But speaking of the tournament, let me talk about that real quick before I talk about the ticket sales for this Boston show. Whoops. Oof, you got nothing there, fam. Nothing there, dog. I really fudged up, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Finally got it. There it is. So these are the current participants in the last time is now tournament, which kicks off tonight. That's what I'm trying to say. You have the likes of Rusev, Sheamus, Shinsuke Nakamura, Jey Uso, Damian Priest, The Miz, boo, LA Knight, yeah, and a mystery opponent, TBD, on SmackDown. And we know that the rumor, the innuendo, the speculation has been that final person will be Gunther. I think, in my view, it's probably going to be Gunther, and Gunther would be the logical pick to be Cena's final opponent. He would be the best pick, in my opinion, to be John Cena's final opponent, given this crop of elite talent that they have come up with. And I think in that respect, he should beat John Cena. And the unfortunate reality is, I know that there's people saying Chris Jericho is going to be LA Knight's opponent. It is not going to be Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's contract he's still under contract, I believe, with AEW. So his contract does not end until December. So he's not going to be available to be in this tournament, unfortunately. Plot twist, it's Omer's. Yeah, I am the mystery opponent. I'm taking the Excella train up to Boston tonight, and I'm going to whoop that Cena ass one last time. One final time. I'm the final boss. Can you imagine final boss Ohm walking out? I'm the final boss, Like, I would be crashing out. But I do think that the final opponent is going to be Gunther, and it's going to be a wild one. I do have to say about this crop, right? I do have to say, you have had a year over a year to build up to John Cena's final match. You've had even longer potentially to think about how you end it. And look, I don't need to retread where we've been with Cena's final run. I don't need to retread the diabolical heel turn that was. I don't need to retread any of that. But the fact that we're doing this final time, the last time is now tournament, whatever we want to call it, right? We're doing this tournament. And we are in the midst of a bit of a renaissance and rejuvenation of this John Cena final run. Again, coming off of the horrendous heel turn. But we're getting better. And one would think that you would include names in this tournament who are synonymous with John Cena. What was the promise? What was the promise, right? We got 16 men. We're going to have a couple of other people who are going to be decided here, right? That's fine. That's all well and good. I think that you are going to have like the likes of Cardona in here. I think you're going to have others. I would love to see AJ, but from the current crop that was announced, I thought it was very underwhelming. Because look at who you have. Look, shout out to Rusev. What the hell is he doing in this tournament other than taking the pin to Damian Priest? Okay, he has history with John Cena. He came out on a tank. That was a really cool moment. But doesn't really make sense. I could say a very similar thing about Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I hate the idea of Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena? I mean, a little bit, but that's besides the point. But not really the barn burners that you want to be bringing out. And then we get to, look, I'm just going to call it out very openly and specifically. This train wreck of a match. Look, y'all know how I feel about The Miz. Shout out to him. He has collected a paycheck for much longer than I would have in his position. That is most certainly true. Shout out to him. He is a 2-time WWE champion. And shout out to him. He has history with John Cena being one of the very few men who have ever beaten John Cena at WrestleMania. All of that is true. It does not change the fact that The Miz is trash. And he's going up against even bigger trash in the ring with Jey Uso. This match is not going to be for the faint of heart. This match is going to be one of the ugliest, most brutal things you will ever see on professional wrestling television. Shield your children's eyes from this. It will certainly be a match and a moment that you will never want any. This match should be rated X. It should be rated X because X is nearly the final letter in the alphabet, and that is how far down the ladder that these two going up against each other are. This is going to be a horrendous match. This is going to be a pile of dog shit on a hot summer's day in the Sahara Desert after someone took a piss on it. This is going to be just an abomination of epic proportions. Vince McMahon coming out with a do-rag was better than what this match is going to be. This match is going to be worse than King Kong Bundy versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 2. This match is going to be worse than Sid Vicious versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 8. This match is going to be worse than The Miz versus John Cena at WrestleMania 28. This match is going to be hot, utter, stinking garbage that a Venus flytrap ate before it rotted away in the Mojave Desert. This match is going to fucking suck. Anyway. But then we have LA Knight. All right. Okay. I guess we're doing that. And then we got mystery opponents. Okay. Again, I'm not mad because there are going to be other people in the tournament. I just thought if these are the names you're announcing, pretty weak lineup to announce overall. Very weak lineup to announce. What's up, Super Omega? What's up, everyone in the chat? Hopefully y'all are doing well. Gunther doesn't make sense to win. I see title is at this point, especially when he's having a title. He's having a title ever since he's been on the main roster. I mean, I think that's just Gunther's gimmick that he's just constantly holding belts. But I do think there's certainly merit in the idea of Gunther holding a championship. I think it actually uplifts the Intercontinental title if he holds it. And plus, the real title that he's going for here is beating John Cena, being the person to retire John Cena. And then, I would love to see Gunther go off, retire AJ Styles. I would like to see Gunther go off. Hell, have him be the one to retire Brock Lesnar. Have this man be your monster. You want to invest in him. You want to keep him around. They signed him to this long-term extension. Make it happen. I think the Oba should be his final opponent. I would love Oba Femi to be the final opponent. I would love Oba Femi to be the one to retire John Cena. I just don't think it's happening. I think the person who will be the mystery guy who isn't in WWE is either Henry or Cardona. God help us if it's Joe Henry. I love Joe Henry, but the shtick is getting old. The meme shtick is getting old. I love that he got over. I have been following Joe Henry for a lot of his career, and I've been a fan. But man, oh man, I'm getting sick of the I believe in Joe Henry. It should be Breaker to be his final opponent. Maybe, who knows? I would love that. Again, my thing would be build up one of your youngest guys or build up the monster that we all know that Gunther is going to be in WWE. I would love to see Gunther. He would be my third pick, if I'm being honest. My number one would be Oba. My number two would be Breaker. My number three would be Gunther. Hell, actually, no. Number three would be Ilya, but they're never going to go for that. Gunther could be the new legend killer. Yeah, have him be the one to retire Randy. Have him take Randy out. What if Randy or Mike Santana, Randy Orton versus, look, Randy being the one to retire John Cena would be interesting. It would be a lot better than, the abomination of a match that they had at Backlash earlier this year. But we're going to have to see. I just don't know if they're going to run that back. They should have built Breaker like a monster to be against Cena. Breaker's getting there. I mean, the Rollins stuff didn't help beforehand, but I think the beatdown on Rollins and Breaker and Bronson Reed together are a very good pairing. I think WWE fixed one of their biggest problems in the vision, and now we're in a good place with the group, and we're back to what works. Have the Brawns do their thing, man. Unfortunately, the Brawns are going to be like, just tied up doing random shtick for they're going to be tied up doing random shtick for the Bloodline over the next couple of weeks, but say la vie. Excuse me for that. How would you book Cena's final opponent? I already said it, but I would have Gunther just dominate him. I would have Gunther beat John Cena in a squash in an ideal world. Doesn't help that they already did that with Lesnar, and that was some BS. Because what did it do? Rant time. Can we talk about how dog shit the Brock Lesnar return was? It's November. He returned in August, right? And he had this match with Cena in September. So it's been 2 months almost since he's had that match with Cena. Can we talk about how absolutely putrid the booking of the return of Brock Lesnar was? Not the return itself, because there's so many things I have said about that. There's so many things I'm going to continue to say about that in the future and how WWE shouldn't have done it. And it evidently was not a needle mover for SmackDown because it did not help with the ratings. But can we talk about how absolutely putrid it was for them to bring Brock back in an attempt to try to recapture the magic, try to make WrestlePalooza this big thing, and then just squash John Cena and leave until Rumble? What are we doing? I'm supposed to think that this is a quality program? I'm supposed to think that this is great booking? It's trash. It's garbage. It is, in fact, the equivalent of what this match is going to be next Friday on SmackDown. The wild thing is, I'm only joking a little bit. I still think it's going to suck Cena's last match if not for Bin's last appearance by John Cena is what's going to save the farewell for Cena. Yeah, I mean, look, the only reason that I'm even going to entertain watching parts of Raw tonight, parts of Raw next week, Survivor Series, and then the final show is because of the respect that I have for John Cena as a performer. And I think that, I want to see how he goes out. I want to see how John Cena goes out. I want to witness it, and I just want to make sure that John Cena is... I just want to make sure that, they do him right. Hopefully they do. What's up, Leo? Good to see you, my man. What's up, Leo Relic? In the chat, in the building. I'm sure you missed my shenanigans. Your shenanigans are not even missed. I knew they would be back. I knew they would be back eventually. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully all is good. Julia, 2-minute buried. I mean, I have not watched SmackDown. Full transparency, I have not watched SmackDown. And I won't be watching SmackDown, so you're better off just telling me what happened. And you're also better off hitting that like button if you haven't already. 14 of you watching, only 11 likes. Let's get those numbers up. Let's get that ratio going. All right. I want y'all to make me like Dijak. Get that ratio going. I need y'all to ratio the live viewership real quick. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already done so. Let's beat the algorithm. Let's also, if you haven't already consider becoming a member. When you become a member, you not only get access to a lot of exclusive content and also all future video essays fast and early, but you also get a guaranteed readout in the chat. So let's hit that join button if you haven't already. I'm surviving, but I will say this. Nixon Miranda pulling Hulk Hogan was definitely not funny. We're both funny and sad. Yeah. I have to retcon a little bit of what I said yesterday because I think I focused. I focused on the wrong thing. I focused. I guess my anger was misguided. I stand by my criticism because yesterday, I'll just get into it. Yesterday on the show, I said that, like, I got angry at AEW because of the whole 3-minute match thing. I'm still pissed about it, and I stand by that criticism. Do I think that this situation with Miranda and Nixon was the best vessel for that? Probably not. But that being said, as more things have come out, I've had more time to think about it, and things have become a little bit more clear. For those of you who aren't aware, there's a situation where two talent, you had Miranda Elise and Nixon Newell, who were set to face Ty Mello and Anna Jay on Collision. There was some sort of disagreement, and there was some sort of argument or disagreement, I should say, that led to Miranda and Nixon basically saying, "No thanks, brother, that doesn't work for me," in so many words. And they have since responded. They have since come out with a statement, and I will pull it up here. This is Miranda Elise specifically statement about the situation. As you guys can see here, it says, "The moment you start standing up for yourself, everything shifts. Suddenly, you're the problem. Not because you've changed, but because you're no longer letting them take advantage of you. They'll paint you as a villain, but that's okay because you're finally choosing yourself. This is where your freedom begins." And of course, there's, a lot of talk about what happened. We also have this aggregation of a Brian Alvarez quote, which says, "Nixon Newell said repeatedly that there was no bad blood on either side with AEW. Let me tell you something. I heard from a lot of people, and what was amazing, I was hearing from people as the show was going on, so people weren't even waiting until the show was over. Maybe Tony Khan told him that there was no hard feelings, but I can tell you one thing. Hard feelings is the wrong word. Bad blood, I don't know how you term it. But there were so many people that were like, what a stupid thing to do." And that's the one thing I heard over and over. So this seems to be a case where they said no to the creative that was presented to them, and they said they were good. Then they were basically asked, "Okay, well, you guys can leave." And I believe that Eric had asked earlier how Tony Khan found replacements so early or so quickly. They usually have, one of the reasons why they bring like talent, even talent they're not going to use to TV, is for situations like this. If there's a last minute injury, if there's a last minute emergency, if for whatever reason talent walk out, you can have replacements ready to go. That's why they have so many extras at TV. It's not only to have them as, security guards to do pull-apart brawls, but it is also to have people ready to go if you need them in that spot. And in my view, right, again, I still haven't seen enough come out where I'm going to like chastise Nixon Newell and Miranda Elise. What I will say is if it is true, I mean, it's probably not how I would have gone about things, but at the end of the day, I'm not in their shoes. And you might be wondering, oh, well, why are you so like whatever about these? I'm like at the end of the day, like I'm not going to sit here and like, get on my high horse to like talent about, how they want to be booked in their careers. Especially when like they don't have power to the degree that other wrestlers would, right? And look, again, maybe I'm being too nice. Maybe it is a stupid move. But I just am like, in my view, it's like, what good is there to pile on? That's like really where it is. Despite what some may or may not have said on Instagram, which I find atrocious, or shared on Instagram, which I find atrocious. Stupid move to do, especially the AEW women's tag team division been built. Yeah, I mean, again, it's like you are being too nice. That's the one time in my life I've ever been told that. The one time in my life I've ever been told that. They had 2 appearances on AEW TV, and it was not enough for their 3rd appearance opportunity. AO. Their statement is dog shit. They've been there for 2 weeks and act like they've been caged like Ray Phoenix, who wasn't caged, to be honest with you. I mean, the Ray Phoenix situation is kind of wild because, like, look, I know bro wanted out of AEW, and shout out to him for getting out. Shout out to him. He got his wish. But my man got out, and now he's in Alcatraz. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Oh, man. What do we got? Kadar Finley in the chat. People sending them death threats. Yeah, I mean, look, it's pro wrestling. You should not be sending people death threats over wrestling. The person who should care the most about this, or the people who should, are Anna Jay, Ty Mello, and Tony Khan. I promise you, none of them are sending death threats to these people. And if they are not, no one else should be. Death threats are an insane thing to send anyone. I think, yeah, it's just like stupid online bullshit that people do. And people need to, if you find yourself doing that, like, go, stop typing the message, go touch grass. That's what you need. People need to go touch grass. I'm going to go touch grass after the stream. Bro, Miranda literally wrote, they're taking advantage of you. Girl, you've been there for 2 weeks. You are not going over signed talent. If I was AEW, I'd feature Lady Frost more. Yeah, shout out to Lady Frost. Yeah, feature Lady Frost more. I'd be down for that. 3-minute matches are not good, yes, but it's Collision. We're talking about, there's plenty of people who would kill for that spot. You're not wrong. The fact that Liv couldn't return in her hometown, but we got a guy with a laundry list of allegations. I don't believe Liv was ready, but amen. They love themselves that Brock pop. Wrestle Kingdom card updates, your thoughts. I think Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada is going to be a fantastic way to end Tanahashi's career. There will be tears in my eyes when it happens. Tanahashi, as I said before, is arguably like one of the greatest wrestlers in New Japan history, one of the greatest wrestlers in Japanese wrestling history, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, if we're being honest. And understanding and knowing his career as well as I do, and like obviously having seen a lot of it in real time, it makes me very sad that this reality is coming to an end. Just like it makes me sad that the John Cena stuff is coming to an end. And it's going to be very interesting to see like how that plays out. Obviously, I think Okada's probably going to find a way to win, and he probably should win. But how and how that happens, we'll see. I love the Yota Tsuji versus Takeshita matchup. I think there's definitely potential here for maybe Okada getting involved and costing Takeshita. We'll see. Tanahashi versus Okada over John Cena's retirement. I mean, match-wise, probably. Probably. Road Dogg has got to go. SmackDown has been atrocious under him. Yeah, I mean, Road Dogg SmackDown has been so atrocious I've stopped watching. Road Dogg, by the way, was also on the headset for Saturday night's main event because Paul Levesque was not there. I'm just putting that out there because that is a true thing that people probably should hear about. Paul Levesque has not been on. He was not on Saturday night's main event. He's usually not at SmackDown. He is off doing other things. other wonderful things. Because why would he ever need to be at a professional wrestling show? Why would he need to be overseeing the company that he is in charge of? Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Come on now. Both match and retirement wise, Tanahashi's guitar spots alone cleared John Cena's entire run. I don't know if I'll go that far, but I do agree with your sentiment. I still think that Triple H is responsible for WWE's current state. His name is on the final credits. I mean, his name is certainly on the final credits, but I think you can really... I think the reason why Triple H is so bad in his current form has to do a lot with TKO. I think TKO sets the tone. I think TKO determines, how things go and what the priorities are. And Triple H is just a byproduct of that at this point. So I understand. At the end of the day, the buck stops with him. He should care more. He shouldn't be as complacent as he is. But he is, because the people above him don't hold him to any standard, right? The only thing that they care about is buzz and clicks. Like Triple H, I said this in a video that's coming out for members. Hit that join button if you haven't already. For members first, Triple H and WWE are not booking for fans. They're booking for their sponsors. They're booking for corporations. They're booking for the investors, And I think Triple H is capable of way more than he is doing now. I just unfortunately don't think he cares enough. Oh my God, we got Sharon agreeing with me. Now I'm curious, Sharon, what are you agreeing with me on? Because Sharon's like my biggest critic. Shout out to Sharon. Sharon's like my biggest critic. But still finds her way back here every week. Shout out to Sharon, guys. Shout out to Sharon. Dubs for Sharon. Can we see SmackDown's ratings get over 1 million? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The ratings didn't come out for this past Fridays, but yeah, I mean, they were going up against some very stiff competition last Friday. It's going to be interesting to see how this past Fridays do. But I mean, I think within a year they're going to be back under 900K for pretty consistently. Vince Russo was right about Triple H. Vince Russo said Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paul Levesque McMahon. What a long-ass name. Doesn't have a creative bone in his body. He does have a creative bone in his body. I don't agree with that. I just think I think he's neutered. I think he's neutered creatively. But black and gold. Thank Regal for that. Okay, come on. No, it was Triple H booking that. It wasn't Regal. Come on. Regal was there, but it was Triple H. Like, let's calm down. I never give credit to Triple F for anything. NXT was Dusty's project, plus William Regal's brilliance in talent scouting. Main roster was mostly Vince's ideas. Anything Triple H does turn to shit. Hey, yo, Triple H getting drive by skra in the chat. That's crazy work, bruh. Also, Triple F is crazy. I believe what people usually call him is Triple K, but I don't say that. It's hard to see how Cody has fallen in WWE. Yeah, that one is pretty tough. Cody is you want to talk about neutered as a character? I think there is no bigger neutering of a character than the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. It's genuinely, as a fan of Cody's, it has been profoundly sad to witness what has happened there. It's been profoundly sad. You can hope for the best, but I never thought that they would get to a point where Cody Rhodes would not only be so uncool, but that Cody would be as like this big of a geek, this big of an absolute unbelievable geek as he is. And this is someone who just a couple of years ago was like the coolest character and personality in pro wrestling. And it's very sad to see where he is now. Unfortunate. I call him Triple F, triple fraud. Shout out C-Jax. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paul Levesque McMahon does not have a creative bone in his body like Nitro. Guys, I can't not give him some credit for NXT. NXT cooked. And it was not Dusty. It was not just Dusty or whatever. It was him. It was him. Cody was always a geek. AEW fans saw it before others. No, okay, here's the thing. Cody was a geek, but in like a weirdly likable way, right? Like he was still kind of likable and redeemable when he was in AEW for the most part. I think the final couple of months were pretty like bad or whatever. But man, okay, he's not this big of an unbelievable geek. All right, AEW Cody would not have put his hands down and dropped the title in the main event of WrestleMania, opening himself up to an obvious freaking low blow by John Cena. That Cody would not have given up the main event of WrestleMania to The Rock and then begged for it to come back. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. We're still talking about Anthony Ogogo. That's crazy. I mean, look, Cody ruined racism is pretty bad. Cody ruined racism is pretty bad. You will hate him too. I've seen it. I've seen it. All right. I've seen the Cody, Cody fixes racism. That's what it is. No, Cody did not ruin racism. How dare you? He fixed racism. WWE Ruthless Depression. Ruthless Depression is wild. Ruthless Depression is wild, y'all. Also, shout out to BC Amplified for the Hunter Hearst Helmsley Paul Levesque McMahon name. Shout out to BC Amplified them. Shout out to all of y'all who have hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider doing so. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button. Please, guys. Helps out so much. Anyway, well, let's start talking about some ticket sales because these are some interesting numbers coming out. Big story a couple of weeks ago was the Bound for Glory ticket numbers. WrestleNomics is now reporting Bound for Glory sold at least 5,554 tickets as TNA announced 7,794 in attendance, which was a record for them. Public records now show, again, acquired by WrestleNomics, 6,137 tickets scanned. TNA says standing room, additional guests, and staff brought the totals higher. So this is, I think a learning point for a lot of wrestling fans. Whenever you hear the attendance numbers, a lot of times why those are considered to be higher than what may be actually in the building as far as fans is because they count staff, they count a lot of other people who are actually at the event. We got Ryan Davis, the boy, fresh off of his Panthers getting dumped on by, what's his name, Tyler Schlo or whatever. Oof. And I thought y'all were about to make the playoffs. Silly me. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you. What's going on with Chris Jericho? I'll get this out of the way real quick. Chris Jericho is going to WWE. If you are a betting person, put money on Chris Jericho showing up at the Rumble. I think that much is clear. Again, I don't know nothing, but I'm fairly certain that I'm gonna take a very educated guess and say he's showing up at the Rumble. I think it's almost a certainty at this point. The only thing he's good at tanking ratings is crazy. That's still good for TNA pay-per-view, though. Good for them. I like Santana as champ. It's really good for them. It's really good for them. I think if TNA can fill a pay-per-view like over 3,000 people, it's very good for them. It's a healthy number for where they're at. I want them to get higher, but honestly, where they are right now and where they're trying to be, like I think that's a growth number for them too. WWE ratings killer Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. All right, look. Look, you done crossed the line. You done crossed the line, my boy. Oracular, whatever the fuck your name is, you done crossed the line. How dare you? How dare you say that about Sami Zayn? You can say that about that jabroni Jey Uso. You could say that about that absolute hack of a professional wrestler in Cody Rhodes. But Sami Zayn is the people's champion. He is the people's Champion. Don't you dare come at Sami Zayn like that, all right? Or I'll have to go final boss on you. Put the sunglasses on. Championship belt in my hand. I'm a final boss. No. F that. We're done. Anyway, sorry. But no. How dare you say it about Sami Zayn? Apologies, please. We got Gerard Clark, member Gerard Clark, saying, did I miss the Tegan Nox Miranda Ali drama? A little bit. I mean, the summary is that I was apparently being very nice about it. Ooh, chat thinks I'm being way too nice. And everyone else was like, yeah, no, that was a pretty stupid move. I do agree. It was a pretty stupid move for them to do that. I think that like sometimes you have to kind of understand the room, but also I'm not going to pile on too much because I was not there. I think Chris Jericho returns to the Fed to probably his best move because his tenure in AEW has expired. Yeah, I think that he's done in AEW and there's not much for him to do. Maybe he'll come back one day, but I think it's healthy for him to move on. Blood and Guts has always been a fun show and free, so that's cool. Blood and Guts is coming this coming Wednesday. It's going to be a fun show for sure. Apparently the chat box hates me asking you to check Lady Frost's expo. What did Lady Frost say? Did Lady Frost, my queen, what did you say, Lady Frost? Oh my goodness. Is this what you're talking about? Shit, I don't even need 60 seconds to make you feel me. That's crazy work. If this is indeed like alluding to the 3-minute thing, that's wild. Chris Jericho would be better off going to TNA instead of WWE. TNA is not offering them the money that WWE would be. WWE's offering him a pretty good money. That's a wild thing That's a wild thing for Lady Frost to post. Shout out to Lady Frost. I mean, yeah, sign her immediately. Why not? Here we go. Nobody feels larger than life anymore in WWE under Hunter Helmsley, Paul Levesque, McMahon. The McMahon at the end really gets me. Oh my God, poor Ryan. Man, I don't want to talk about Carolina. Bryce's cheeks. That much is true. Bryce's cheeks. Thoughts on the AEW National Championship. Bobby Lashley should win a Ricochet. Too many fucking belts. Too many damn belts. I hate the fact that there's so many belts in AEW. I thought we were on our way to downsizing some of these. You just introduced the women's tag team belts. Like, what are we doing? There's no need. I love the history. I love it. No one loves history more than I do. But what the hell are we doing adding another gosh darn belt? Don Callis is still carrying around the old freaking Continental and International belts. What are we doing? No. Bad Tony. But where's my spray bottle? Bad Tony Khan. Bad. No more belts. I'm so sick and tired of every 3-4 months they're adding a new damn belt. They couldn't even wait like a month from when they announced the women's tournament to add these belts. What are we doing? Why are we adding new belts? We don't need another belt. You already have like 8 belts. No. I will not calm down, chat. I am not going to calm down about this. Too many freaking belts. I have had it with these goddamn belts in this goddamn company. I am sick of these mother-loving belts in this mother-loving plane. Like, come on, brother. We don't need another melt. No, we don't need we got another melt, all right? I'm melting down right now. We don't need no more damn belts, all right? No, I don't want any more belts. Are you concerned that Paul will extract AEW secrets from Jericho despite his loyalty to TK? What secrets is he going to extract? Hey, yeah, Jerry, hey, so Chris, how'd you get Tony to, keep paying you for that long. He's like, I am the learning tree. And he starts singing right in front of Triple H. Like, no. There's no secrets, right? I also don't think Jericho operates like that. I think Jericho respects Tony. And the word is that, like, if it was up to Chris Jericho, he would be staying in AEW. I think this is a case where Tony kind of understood that it was time to move on. But if it was up to Jericho, I believe he'd be in AEW. Fun fact, though, the new AEW National Championship was designed by Dave McMillan. Dave Millican? Shout out to Dave Millican. The only sensible guy in Hunter Hearst Helmsley McMahon's creative team I see is Ed Koskey. Can we just give him the chief content officer role because Hunter Hearst Helmsley is a chief bullshit officer? Yo, people getting the narratives off in the chat today. The only way the national championship can work is if AEW Shockwave on Fox or if Dark comes back. Why would you add a Dark championship though? Why would you add like a CD show championship? Secrets. Jericho got someone fired from AEW because he said snitching said. Yeah, that man is going. He's definitely going to be in the Rumble though. Just like you guys are all going to be in my good graces if we get to 15 likes. Only 2 likes away from 15. Let's pump those numbers up. Let's get up to 15 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already. If you scroll down and you see that like button is not hit it. You just got to click a button. That's all I'm asking you to do. Let's take a look at ticket sales for the John Cena show tonight. Tonight, November 10th, live from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. John Cena's final time in Boston. Set up for 16,200. Tickets distributed is at 5,700. So right around 16,000, give or take, in the building. It is going to be a loud, raucous, and star-studded affair for his final time in Boston. Cheapest seat available, $84. I mean, it's way better than John Cena. Actually, hold up. I haven't even done this in a while. You guys want to take a journey with me? Let's go to Ticketmaster.com and check in on these John Cena final show tickets. Live, December 13th, from the most shit-tacular city in the world, Washington, D.C., home of fascism. Let's take a look at how much 3 tickets are going to cost me and the boys, potentially, if we end up going to this show. All right. So, Brian, Kenny, if you're watching and you're on the air, hey, yo, we're doing this live, baby. I want y'all to take a look at this. Take a look at this stuff, okay? So, let's say you're trying to get 3 tickets to this John Cena show. You know, maybe you're like, okay, I want to splurge a little bit. I want to sit in the lower bowl, you know? Maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe I go sit in the lower bowl. Okay. Oh, $1,400 each. I don't want to do that. Maybe we look at somewhere else. Oh, $1,600 each. Wow. I definitely don't want to do that. Maybe we go over. Oh, $2,000 each. Oh, no. $2,300 each. Oh, no. Okay. Wait, we're getting warmer. Okay, $500. I'm still not paying that much, but we're getting there. Maybe we're going. Okay, we're going up to $600. Okay, $550, $520. Okay, so lower bowl is anywhere between $500 to, destitute. Let's try to go. Okay, let's go to the 200s. All right, look, it's John Cena's final match. 200s. Okay, $1,000 for that. That seems unreasonable. Okay, we're still at $1,000. Over $1,000. And for the 200s, for the 200 level section, we're looking at $1,000 each. for the 200 section. Okay, wow. I guess we're not doing that. Well, I mean, how much? I want y'all to guess. Let's see. How much would it cost to sit up here in the heavens? How much would it cost to sit up here in the heavens with all of the angels, all of our past loved ones? How much would it cost? Okay, okay. Wait a minute. $400. All right, maybe you can get something cheaper. No, okay, 426, 440, 440, 440, 460, 440, 450, 420, 500. Oh, if you try to get into the building, sit up in the heavens with your great grandparents, dog, it's gonna cost you $400 plus. The cheapest ticket right here is slated at $420 to go to John Cena's final match. I have been to this. The 200 levels are not all skyboxes. Those are not all skyboxes. Some of them are, but a lot of those ones are not open, and the ones that are on the other side. I've been to this arena. Look. Been to this arena many times. All right. Crazy. Tickets for this show is $5,000 with nosebleeds at 400. I haven't even looked at like some of the other places. Say you want to sit on the floor, 3,000. Yeah, I mean it's just ridiculous. Ridiculously priced. This show is. But hey. What are you gonna do, guys? What are you gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do something that I told all of you should do every once in a while. And that is go touch grass when you're feeling down. I'm gonna go touch some grass. It has been a spectacular stream. It's wonderful to be back. I love each and every one of you. If you haven't already done so, be sure to smash that thumbs up. If you also haven't already done so, consider becoming a member. Hit that join button for as little as $5 a month. You get access to a bunch of cool perks. You get to help me out in making some of this content come to life. And I read your chats out. What could be better than that? So consider doing that. Hit that join button. See what all those perks are. And decide for yourself, if you will. But before you leave, be sure to hit that like. Share this with a friend. If you know someone who's really into pro wrestling, then share this with them directly. Let them know that there's a cool-ass podcaster who's interacting with the fans, who is all about talking graps right here at youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling. Until then, I'm Big Ohm for RTW. Be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real. Bye, guys.